Welcome to Easy 2 Tips and Tricks, etc., etc. in ECT. Now, this is a long video, but it gives you all the steps to make a pattern. And this is a semi-complicated pattern. And it's the first half. The second half will be on the tile and how I go about making the angle cuts so you get a nice, clean, pristine outer edge while you've got this 20, 25, 30 degree angle on the inner edge. So, no further ado, let's get to this video. Watch it all the way through so you don't miss anything if you need to really learn how to do this. Looking forward to hearing from you. And thanks for being here. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you think it's good enough, please share. And don't forget, I have a YouTube group called it's a hashtag, Then We Are Creators. And you can share your videos there also just by copying your video and then going over there to Facebook and posting it. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Thank you. And thank you for being a part of my community. It really means a lot. Okay, now I've made this cardboard pattern here, which represents my tile. But there's adjustments that need to be made. I need to take a 1/2 inch off of this corner here so that this bottom will sit down on the shower floor, the shower pan, and then there's some adjustments, but I'm going to show you how I made this template. Okay, so I have this piece here, this piece of cardboard. So I'm going to show you the process for making this template. All right, here we go. Okay, so let's remove this and let's take our measurements. We know that these tile are 19 5/8. Okay, so let's write that down. Okay. We have the length here. We'll put it on this side. 19 5/8. Can barely see it. 19 5/8. All right. Then we bring this up. Bam. Okay, now we're going to have to take 3 separate measurements. Top, bottom, and then the shower curb. I'll show you what I'm talking about. We have seven and a 1/16. All right, 7 and a 1/16 across here at the top. 7 and a 1/16. All right, that's going across the top. Now, right here, I've got to take my next measurement, and then I'll take my measurement to where it's going to have to go here. All right. Now, this measurement is 7 and we have in my shadows. Okay, we have 7 and 3/8. Okay, 7 3/8 to that point. Okay, down here we have, since we have this here, we're just going to go 7 3/8. Now I could say 7 1/16, put a T for top, go 7 3/8. All right, and go bottom, top, then we know, right? Now for the shower curb, how we get this, how do I know where to stop this, okay? Let's run this tape flat against this wall and then bring it right up against the shower curb, and where that stops is where it's going to be, where I'm going to take my measurement, and that is 7 5/8. All right. Now I've also put a pencil line. Okay, I've done this. You come out here, you bring this here, you bring it over to 5/8, and then you mark. Okay. Then I take my, I'm losing my tools. Just had it. Take the speed square, you take your level, all right, and I put this on the mark here on my 5/8 little pencil line. I get my level to level, I get it, then I mark, okay, and it's on the wall. All right, so the very bottom, the shower curb, is 7, what'd I say? 5/8. 5/8. All right, this is a shower, CS, shower, SC, shower curb. All right, top, bottom, and shower curb. Now, I've got one more measurement. What's the height of that? Where do I make this? Where does this stop? Because this has to stop right here at that edge like this, okay? So what's the distance so I can get that added to that mark? Okay, I got to get my head down here where I can see it. Now I'm looking at 3 and 5. 3 and 5. Let me double check here. 3 and 5/8. 3 and 5/8. That's my height of this face of the shower curb. Okay. Then I go here. And I go, here's my SC, and I go 3 and 5. You're not going to be able to see this, I don't think. 8. All right. And this is the height, so I can put an H or whatever you want to use to determine so that you understand what it is you're writing down and you can relate to that. All right. I don't care if it's an X, an O, whatever you want to do.
N for notch.
Yeah, N for notch, however you want to do it. All right. Now with these measurements, I should be able to take and make my template. All right, I'm going to show you the process for making your template. And this one's a little bit complicated. So I'll show you how to make this happen so that anybody can do this. That way you're not wasting tile, you know, you're making your mistakes on your cardboard. It's real forgiving that way. And I'm down to just a few pieces, and I can't afford to make any mistakes here. And I've already made one. So, I'm going to show you how to do this. Let's do this. This is my first template. And this template I could have used. This is perfectly fine. Except I didn't show you how to make this happen. So I'm going to make this, I'm going to make it out of this one here. Alright, we know that our material is 19 5/8 long. And this is extra long. So let's hook here at the top. Come to 19 5/8. Alright, let's mark this. And you want to come to your outer edge. 19 5/8. Alright, a 1/2 inch. And 2 lines more is 5/8. It's the longest line after, the second line after your 1/2 inch mark. Okay? It's 5/8. The first line past your 1/2 inch mark is 9/16, and the next line after is 5/8. Alright, and based on that, I mismarked it. I marked 3/4. That's why you want to measure twice and cut once, just so you, in case you make any mistakes, and or I ran into a slight problem. That shouldn't be the case. Aha, I see the problem. This is not straight. The top is straight. There's where I made the difference, right there. All right, the top is straight. So this will tell me, okay, 5/8 is here. 1/2 inch, 9/16, 5/8. Okay. Now I could use a piece of tile for this. All right. 5/8. All right. Now, it just so happens that it fell right at this black print line right here, exactly on it. All right, that's a rare day when that happens. Very rare day. Okay, so get that lined up, barely in front. Hold this down, make sure everything is out of your way so it doesn't interfere with what you're doing, right? Because it did. Okay. Get it exactly in front of your level. All right. Now, get this adjusted just a hair. Okay. There she is. All right, now get this pressed down, nice and snug. There we go. All right, fold this back just like drywall. Fold this back. And then cut down to the back side. My razor blade is just a tad short the way it's set up. But it cut right where it was supposed to here the first time around. Okay. check the measurement. 19 5/8. Okay, now at the top we had 7 7/16. All right, now normally I'm going to make this 3/16 short. Okay, so I'm going to pull from my straight edge right here. All right, so it's 7 1/16. All right, so we're gonna shorten it by 3/16. So here's 7 1/16. So this we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, which makes this 6 7/8. 6 7/8 right here. All right. Now,
Why would you shorten it?
so the next thing I need to do before I do anything else, and I should have done that to start with, is I need to come off the bottom my 3 5/8. Okay, remember, for the shower curve. So that's the next thing I have to do, is go 3 5/8. Right there. But we want to do this on each end. All right. So 3. Okay. And 5/8 right here. Now, remember this cardboard is a little bit off on the bottom, so there's a trick. For fixing that to make it level. Okay, I don't care what the bottom's doing. I do not care what the bottom's doing. The only thing I care about is my pencil mark that I've made right below my finger. You see? All right, so I'm going to take my level. All right, and I'm going to place my level on that pencil line right here. Then I'm going to get this level. And that's going to be exactly straight. And it won't matter if the bottom's off at all, because I'm leveling to that line. Okay? Now, you can see the mark I initially made right there, barely, if you can see it.
Kind of.
All right, so level to that. This was off because the bottom was off. Okay, I know that this is correct. Now, we have, now let's do a little math. We have 15 3/4. And what's our overall length? Our overall length is 19 5/8. Okay? So we have 19 5/8. So here we have 15 3/4. So that's 15. Let's go 15 3/4, 16 3/4, that's 1, 17 3/4, that's 2. And then we have roughly, that's 3/4, All right, there's our 5/8. All right, so we have, let's count, that's 16 3/4 is 1, 17 3, I'm sorry, that's 15, that's 16 3/4 is 1, and 17 3/4 is 2, 18 3/4 is 3 plus 5/8. So we have 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 5/8. All right, so we know that we are good. So that's going to be at the right height, and when we get it cut, it'll tell on us. And if you made a mistake, no harm, no foul. It's easy fix. All right, now, so the next measurement, the first measurement was 7 1/16, and I made that 6 7/8. Okay? Now the next mark is 7 3/8, which I'm going to have to bring it down to right to this line. That's why we made this line here first. Because now I've got to come right to that line. I've got to measure to 7 3/8. All right, then I'm going to back off about 3/16. All right, so I've got, this is not made to, all right, so I've got 7 3/8. Okay, 3/8 is 1/8 past a quarter. Now I'm going to remove 3/16, so you count 3, because each one of them is a 16th. Each little line is the 16th. We don't call them 16ths because that would be an improper fraction, but we just count back 3 lines of 3/16. So that's 1, 2, 3. All right, that's 7 3/8. I'm sorry, 7 3/16. That, all right? So 7 3/16. We're right there. All right? Now, so then we take the level. Turn this where you can see it. And I normally don't work on the floor. Those of you that watch my channel know that. But it's windy outside today, and I want you to be able to hear what I'm saying and not have anything interfering with that. All right, remember, for those of you that don't know, you always want the pencil line just barely in front of your level, where you can just barely in front. Where your pencil line, where your pencil will mark right over the top of it. You just test it. Okay, now that tells me it's a little short. My pencil's needing to be sharpened. That's right on. And that one, yeah, it's a tad. It needs to go forward just a little bit. So I'm going to hold this down right here. And I'm just going to barely move this forward. Just barely. All right, that ought to do it. Let's test this. We're good. Oh, okay. You don't want to cross this line, so you just scribble that out. That was a mistake. You don't cross your line. That's going to happen from time to time, even to the best of us. All right. Now, what's my next measurement? My next measurement is the shower curb measurement, which tells me it needs to be 7 5/8. So, this is why you don't cross your line, for this reason right here. All right? But still, no harm, no foul.
He's thinking, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. I had to stop and redo this. Okay. So we're gonna take it from the top. I've made this 6 7/8. All right. We have 6, 7/8.
That's 7.
Okay, we have 6 7/8. I'm sorry, yes, 7/8. All right. Then we're going to come down here to the bottom. All right. Not the but right here at this point. And my measurement was 7 3/8. I'm sorry, 7 5/8. All right. So we have 7 5/8 here. I'm sorry, no. We are at 7 3/8. But I'm coming back from 3/8, which is here, back 3 lines, which is 3/16 back to 7 3/16 here. Now let's come on down below the line, all right? Because we want this piece here to be 7 5/8, all right? This lower section for the shower curve, all right? So I come down here below the line and I mark 7 5/8 here, all right? So this is, right here is 7 5/8. This here is 7 3/16. This is 6 7/8. That's the finished measurement. Now, so now I'm going to go from my pencil line here to the very top here, so it's going to be running at the angle that I need it to fall on. Okay, so let me get this where you can see it. All right, so I'm going to place this right here, right so that the pencil line is sitting in front of that. Bring it right here. Okay, now let's check it and see if it's going to cross it. Yes, it crosses. Does it cross the center? Yes, it crosses the center. So now I know exactly where I need to be. Go from here. All right. Now I can take my speed square, bring it across the bottom to my line here, to my 7 5/8, and mark this here. All right. Now I can even, okay, bring this here. Make sure your tools are out of your way because they'll interfere if you're not careful. All right. There we go. Let's hold this down nice and tight. This blade should be further out, but that's where I have it at the moment. I should have, whoops, I went up too far, guys. I needed to stop right here at the pencil line, right there. Okay. Now, let's take this here and come across and cut out the excess. Okay, let's get this a little bit better. cut it on the back side. Okay. Now, for the next step, okay, I'm doing this for you guys, for your viewing pleasure. For you guys that are learning, this is real important. For the guys that already know, this is like, really? But again, this is for the guys that don't know. You know, it's like riding a bicycle. If you can ride a bicycle, no big deal. But if you can't and you're learning, it's everything. Now, I do have some videos on how to read a tape measure. They're down in my video list. For those of you that want to learn how to read a tape measure. Okay. Just cut really good. Okay. Cardboard is real forgiving. Okay. Well, this is giving me a problem. This is extra thick cardboard. And no excuses. I'm just saying, this is extra thick cardboard. All right, let's go. Check this measurement. Check this pattern. All right, moment of truth. How is this pattern going to work out? That is going to work out really well. Okay. Now there's the pencil line right there, okay? Now I've got that sprayed with rubber. Okay, it's sprayed with rubber sealant. Okay, and here's the back. All right, so we're going to have a slight 1/8 inch here. And then this is going to fall here, and we're good. So there's a pattern. That's how you do that. Let me zoom out here. Okay, got this light glare. So there you have it. Now I have my pattern. I can go put this on my tile, trace it out, and cut it. The first thing I'm going to do is cut this with my wet saw. Then I'll put my bevel on the outer edge to meet that corner, like I did on the last video, but I'll show you how I did it, because I've got a way to do this so that you avoid having these little chips and imperfection. It'll be a very clean, pristine edge, and I'll show you how I did that in my next video. So, no further ado, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I look forward to getting to know your channel and you if you have a channel. If not, I look forward to hearing from you either way. And if it's good enough to share, appreciate it if you share it. And I also have a Facebook group called We Are Creators. That's the hashtag We Are Creators on Facebook. And all you got to do is copy your video that you've uploaded or downloaded and then copy that, and then go to Facebook, put in the hashtag We Are Creators. You go to my page, or you get a link to my page anyways, and upload your videos. All right, look forward to seeing them there and hearing from you. So bye for now. God bless. We're keeping it real and never give up, because there's always a way. That's for sure. Bye for now. Bye.